The unbreakable bond, the power of unity. Once upon a time, in the heart of the vast and fertile Nyambani Valley, there lay the village of Umoja. It was a land blessed with flowing rivers, abundant harvests, and skilled artisans. But despite its natural wealth, discord festered in the heart of its leadership. 3 brothers, Jabari, Kwame, and Zuberi, the sons of the late Chief Amoni, were constantly at odds. Jabari, the eldest, was strong and headstrong, believing in brute force to solve disputes. Kwame, the middle brother, was cunning and sharp-tongued, always seeking personal gain. Zuberi, the youngest, was kind but naive, often caught in the crossfire of his brother's conflicts. Their inability to work together weakened the village. The council of elders grew weary of their quarrels, and the people whispered concerns of impending doom. Umoja had once been a stronghold of peace and prosperity, but with its leadership in turmoil, enemies lurked in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. One evening, the wisest elder in the village, Tembo, called the brothers to his hut. A man of great wisdom, his presence alone commanded respect. His hut was filled with relics of history, stories captured in carvings, masks that held the spirits of ancestors, and the faint aroma of burning sage. Tembo sat before them, his gaze penetrating their souls. In his hands, he held a bundle of sticks tightly tied together with leather string. He handed the bundle to Jabari. "Break it," he commanded. Jabari, using all his strength, tried to snap the bundle but failed. He passed it to Kwame, who smirked and attempted to break it with a strategic angle, but the sticks held firm. Zuberi tried as well, but the bundle remained intact. Tembo then untied the bundle, giving each brother a single stick. "Now, break them." Each brother easily snapped their stick in half. "The lesson is clear," Tembo said. "Apart, you are weak. Together, you are unbreakable. If you do not learn this now, your village will fall, and you will have no kingdom left to rule." His words echoed in their hearts, but old wounds ran deep. Could they truly put their differences aside? Days passed, and while the brothers reflected on Tembo's wisdom, the looming threat of war grew closer. A neighboring warlord, Chief Baraka of the ruthless Kefaru clan, had been watching Umoja's disunity. His spies whispered of their constant disputes, their lack of trust, and their divided people. Sensing an opportunity, he prepared his warriors to strike. One fateful night, a wounded hunter stumbled into Umoja, gasping for breath. "Chief Baraka's army, they are coming," he warned. Panic spread like wildfire. The village council convened immediately. Warriors sharpened their spears, mothers hid their children, and elders whispered prayers to the spirits. Yet, the greatest concern was whether the brothers could set aside their differences and lead together. Jabari, Kwame, and Zuberi stood before the people, uncertain but aware that the fate of Umoja rested on their unity. "We must fight," Jabari declared, gripping his spear. "I will lead the warriors into battle." Kwame scoffed. "And rush into their trap." "No. We must outthink them. We can use the land to our advantage." Zuberi, though hesitant, found his voice. "We cannot fight divided. If we combine our strengths, Jabari's courage, Kwame's cunning, and my diplomacy, we may stand a chance." For the first time, the brothers listened to each other. They devised a plan. Jabari would lead the frontline warriors in an ambush at the narrow valley path where the enemy would march. Kwame would use traps and misleading signs to confuse and separate the invaders. Zuberi would rally the villagers and ensure the women and children were hidden safely while negotiating peace offerings with potential allies. At dawn, the battle began. Chief Baraka's forces entered the valley, their war drums echoing through the hills. As planned, Jabari and his warriors struck first, their sudden attack catching the enemy off guard. Kwame's traps led many of Baraka's men into dead ends and pits, while Zuberi's efforts had brought reinforcement from a neighboring village. Despite the fierce battle, Umoja stood strong. The 3 brothers fought side by side, their unity turning the tide of war. As Baraka's forces crumbled, the warlord himself fell to Jabari's spear. With their leader defeated, the remaining invaders surrendered. Umoja had prevailed, not by strength alone, not by cunning alone, but by the unbreakable bond of three brothers who had finally understood the power of unity. The victory transformed Umoja. The people, once divided, now stood as one. The brothers, once rivals, ruled together with wisdom and strength. On the day of their coronation, Baba Tembo presented them with a new bundle of sticks, this time bound with gold-threaded leather. This, he said, is the true power of Umoja. Never forget it. And so, under the united leadership of Jabari, Kwame, and Zuberi, Umoja flourished, standing as a beacon of strength for generations to come. Moral of the story. True strength lies in unity. Divided, we fall, together, we thrive.